What's I supposed to say?
I bet you wish that I was still right there. Used to live right there. Now I'm everywhere. Got everywhere. I'm so debonair. I'm a millionaire. I act like I don't care. That's cause I don't care.
I just wanted to say I'm back. But you know how it is. It is me, your host, Molly Kaluve, and this is Mindful Molly. And we're back. It's been like a little bit of time, I'm not gonna lie. There's been a lot happening. Plus, I decided to take a little break just because I felt like I kind of like fell back into certain habits that I had, thought patterns and stuff like that. So I just wanted to take some time to kind of like, I don't know, be more present, because a lot of things just started to get to me and I felt a lot of pressure about so many different things. I was like, you know what? Let's take a break. Let's be more present. Has it been chaotic? Most definitely. But we're back, and we're back with a bunch of different realizations, understandings, and just new things I wanted to share with y'all, new ideas. So be on the lookout. But today's a very special episode for me. Just because today I'm talking about it's not as bad as you think it was. And the reason why for me it's a very special one is because it's one of those things for me, and you'll start to understand as I talk further about it. It's one of those things for me that it had been a struggle, or it has been a little bit of a struggle here and there when it comes to my journey with like spirituality and my past, and just like a bunch of different things, honestly. But now I've just kind of reached a point where I'm still working on it, but I don't know, things have just become a little bit easier and lighter for me. That's not what I'm supposed to do. But yes, without going too far, let's dive right into today's affirmations. So the affirmation for today is, my past does not define my future. My past does not define my future. And the next one is, I let go of the past so I may live in the future. Yeah, so as always, you know, our affirmations are always in alignment with whatever we're going to discuss today. And as you can hear, it is a little bit to do with the past and just its effect on how we live in the present, and also how we move or go on moving forward. And yeah, let's get right into it. So basically for me, when it comes to talking about it's not as bad as you think it was, the reason why is something that's so dear to me, so important to me to like discuss or talk about, is because for the longest time I've kind of had this thing where I define myself based on my past. I define myself based on my past actions and past events that happened in my life. You know, listening to people like Joe Dispenza, Sadhguru, you know, reading The Power of Now and so many different things, I started to realize like your memory of the past or how you think it went 50% of the time is not really how it went. Like those moments where you feel like, yo, what the hell? Or those moments where it's like, yo, this is the moment that made me insecure. This is the moment that made me feel shy. This is the moment that put me down as an individual. Like when you start to really realize it, you also start to understand certain things. And one of the key things that I start to understand is that like my mind creates, it doesn't necessarily remember. It creates based off the paradigms that I may have, the thinking patterns, the thinking habits that I may have are the ones that usually like dictate how I'm going to remember a certain event. So if I'm in a space in my life where I constantly feel like I've been a victim, or I'm the one that's been suffering, or I've been struggling, most of my memories of events that happen in my life, they're gonna run like that in my head. It's always going to play out as if, you know, yo, you were the one done wrong. You were the one that went through this. You were the one that struggled. And I'm not saying that you may not have struggled. I'm not saying you may not have been through things. But sometimes our memory of it, or how our mind remembers it or plays it forward, is not how it actually went. And then we hold on to this idea of who we thought we were. We hold on to this idea of, you know, that type of individual. And we continue to carry it forward and like move with it. And now it's become this piece of us, this piece that we've attached to us, and you make it part of your identity. It's not. Sometimes you have to realize events are just events. They don't have to be you. That thing you went through, that thing you feel like defines you now, it doesn't have to. See, the problem with doing that, when you create these memories as part of your identity as well, and most of them, these are like false memories, when you create them as part of your identity, what tends to happen is you've placed this anchor in the past. Like you're holding yourself back, because now it's like, yeah, that defined me, so that's who I'm always gonna be. That's who I'm always going, like, I can't be anybody else but that. And then it stops your growth. And even while you're trying to progress, even as you're trying to grow as an individual, you find yourself kind of being looped up in this cycle. It's like I grow a little bit, but then I'm just back to stage one. And that was kind of the place I had found myself, where it was like, okay, yes, I've done all this growth, but I feel like I'm just going back to stage one and coming back to this point again. Then I'm back in stage one again, and I'm coming back to this point again. And I was like, why? It's because I was still holding on to certain versions of Mali from the past, and I didn't realize that, that does not have to be me. The beauty with being more present, the beauty with being more aware about yourself, is when you're more awareness. And this is why I focus on just being more aware and understanding yourself better. The more you become aware of yourself as an individual, you start to realize, first of all, those certain patterns that you have. And then you also become aware of the fact that whoever you are now, you could choose who you want to be right now. It doesn't even have to be a future thing. Like, you can start right now. The certain practices, like, I'm not going to say it's just going to happen like this, but you can decide to create certain practices within yourself and make them, your new thing. You can replace the things you don't necessarily want to hold on to anymore and change them with the things that you do want to hold on to. Well, not really hold on to, but the things you want to step into. And that's the beauty of it all. So when you're beating yourself up about the past and the things you've done, and that's why I talked a lot about forgiveness and all these different things, and even the memories we have with people and stuff like that, you want to let go of that version. You want to let go of that idea. Just let go. Trust me, it probably is not as bad as you think it was. Your past does not have it doesn't have to define you. It doesn't have to hold on to you. And even if it was bad, you now have the space. You now have the ability to just do something better now. Just be more present. Focus on the now. And you realize, like, the more you're in the present and the more you stop holding on to those past things, you realize, you know what? Yeah, I did that. Yes, to me, like, it may have not been the right thing to do at the time, but beating yourself about it is not going to change it. It's not going to change what happened. The most you could do is just, like, focus on right now. What could I do right now? Is the person that I am the person I am becoming? So just remind yourself that on a regular basis. Be kind to yourself. Be kinder to yourself. Because sometimes we're so hard on ourselves and nobody else cares. Nobody else is worried about, like, sometimes people beat on you because you're already beating on yourself. They're just following your lead. Start building yourself. Be kinder to yourself. Be kinder to the people around you as well. Give off that energy. Just let go. Trust me, it may not have been as bad as it was. And even if it was, you could do better now. You could just be who you want to be right now. You could decide today and just follow through with it. And of course, I'm not talking about, like, extreme stuff and all of that. No, I'm just talking about in the small ways. Like, if you feel like you was mean before, just be nicer today. If you feel like, you was not saying the right things to people before, say the right things to people today. You don't have to beat yourself about not being that nice person in the past. Just be that nice person now. And nice is still relative, but y'all get what I mean. But with that saying, so much love to y'all. I love y'all so much. Just be kind, be grateful, be compassionate, be loving, be caring. And most of all, take care.
Everywhere, I'm so debonair. I'm a millionaire. I act like I don't care. That's 'cause I don't care.